멈춘 시간 속 잠든 너를 찾아가 아무리 막아도 결국 너의 곁인 걸 결국엔 여행을 끝내 이젠 돌아가 너라는 집으로 지금 다시 way back home.
Welcome to another episode of We Talk TV. This is episode 4, and I am officially back. I have been away for some time traveling. I went to spend the holidays in Tampa with family. Then I went to Colombia, spend some time out there as well. And today's episode, I wanted to talk about humanity, right? So now just like traveling and experiencing just like what life is within the US and then what life is outside of the US. So now I had the opportunity, and I was born and raised New Yorker, spent my life here, and just like encountering people, having going through relationships, just living life and understanding like how we think within the states compared to having the opportunity to live abroad. Temporarily, I like to travel and live as if I'm a native to that area. So I was in Cartagena, Colombia, living as if I lived there, and it was definitely an experience. Just from comparing and contrasting the people and just like interacting, engaging, and just like understanding like the littlest thing out there can make the biggest impact. And I began to see that we take little things for granted within the US. And we begin to say and think that our problems are like major problems where the world's going to end when something goes wrong. And just being there and evaluating, meeting people and seeing what they go through and like being able to make like small changes in people's lives left a big impact for me. Interesting story. While down there, I was just like meeting random people. Like I had a friend, we'll say a friend, that was just my translator, and just like translating the stories that people were telling me and identifying. And I met this little boy. His name was Andres, and this little boy just followed me through Old Wall City, and he was telling me that he was hungry. And at first, like one of my friends was like, "Oh no, 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 don't give him anything because then there's gonna be a whole bunch of kids that's gonna follow you and harass you." And we were just walking, and this way was just walking with me, and we were talking and just like interacting. And he was like rubbing his stomach, and there was a lady with a cart with food, and he was pointing at it like he just wanted something to eat. So then I was trying to understand what he was saying, and then I literally start chasing after this lady, pushing food, and like me and him was like running after the lady, just to like get a meal, and then ended up like he was like telling me like about his family, like his mom's like making food and they don't have a lot, so like I just like gave him some money for his family. And when I gave it to him, he legit cried, like he cried and he hugged me. And then like it was just like the littlest thing. And then 2 days later, I was like standing outside of a nightclub getting ready to go in with my friend, and this same little boy was just walking and he stopped and he saw me, and he just ran up to me and hugged me and was like just like talking to him a little bit, and then he left. And it was like just like wow, you know it was just like wow, it was like just an experience, that experience alone, that one interaction. And it's like I think here we take a lot for granted. We take people for granted. Um, we don't appreciate those that are around us as much as we should. You know, what you might have and what might be a little bit to you may be a lot to someone else, right? And I think we need to start adapting that within our relationships to understand that, like, oh, we're gifting these items, or we're telling someone that we love them and we're in this relationship, and we buy these things for people, or we'll do something for someone, and that person will take it for granted, or not realizing the effort and the time and the energy that was invested to make those things possible, right? And it's you don't get time back, right? And that's what it is, right? We don't get time back. you know we only have so much of time in our lives, right? And to give that to someone is the most rarest and most valuable possession that we have, right? So be particular with how you invest your time. Be particular with those you surround yourself with. Be particular with your energy, because you don't get those things back. You can make the memories, but you know what? People forget that these are all our lives are a bunch of stories that compile and compile upon each other. And if there's no audience to tell your stories, in which your stories can live on, they just become memories that kind of just fade into that nothingness. And it's like it's sad, right? It's sad. And I think that you know that the more time goes by, we forget what makes us human. you know we focus on the wrong things, and things that shouldn't even matter. Like, people will argue and get into these little fights of for things that shouldn't even be an argument, right? If you argue with someone today, forgive them later, right? Forgiveness is not for them, forgiveness is for yourself. We're all on a journey for personal growth, to be the better version of ourselves, knowing our self value, knowing our self worth, right? What's one person's trash is another person's treasure, or what, right? Whatever the case is, right? I'm not saying that we're trash, right? But yeah, I hope you guys get the drift. It's just a matter of understanding that, you know, it's like, what do you want from life? What do you want from relationships? What do you want from people? Set those boundaries, right? Identify, find out what makes you you. If someone asks you, who are you? Be able to answer that question, right? Prioritize yourself. Find self happiness, self fulfillment, and teach people the ability to find that within themselves. Allow them the opportunity to find these things within themselves, to be able to love themselves, so that when you can love yourself and they love themselves, that what makes loving each other, that's what makes it so much easier, right? And we're all on this journey, we're all on this path, and it's all about, like, let's just be human. We're gonna make mistakes, we all make mistakes, but let's just focus on being the change we want to see in the world. All right. Episode 4, all about being human. I'll include some pictures, videos of my trip if you guys are interested in seeing it. I appreciate you. For those of you that like and subscribe, I appreciate you. Thank you for the love. I'm not doing this for anything other than to, like, kind of tell you about my life process, and, like, hope that somebody hears this and somebody that it can help better their life or transform their life or help them down their path of self-worth and self-realization, and help them upon their journey so they can build on their story. I thank you again. This is Parson Sean, episode 4, We Talk TV. Peace till next time.